Welcome to Cape Critiquers. This week we're diving into the 2006 blockbuster X-Men: The Last Stand. Directed by Brett Ratner, this film is the third installment in the original X-Men trilogy. Set in a world where mutants exist alongside humans, The Last Stand tackles themes of identity, acceptance, and power, all through a high-stakes narrative involving a cure for mutation. Despite its potential, the film received mixed to negative reviews from both fans and critics alike, with many feeling it failed to live up to the standards set by its predecessors. X-Men: The Last Stand marked a significant moment in the evolution of comic book movies. Released during a time when superhero films were gaining momentum, it was anticipated to be a major success. However, its execution left many disappointed as it struggled with character development and diverged significantly from beloved comic book storylines. The film's exploration of societal fears and prejudice, although ambitious, was often overshadowed by its chaotic plot and inconsistent tone. In this episode, we'll be discussing a whole bunch of different topics. The controversial decision to introduce the mutant cure plotline, Jean Grey's transformation into the Dark Phoenix and how it was changed from the comic book storyline, the impact of Brett Ratner's direction and the film's tone and pacing, how Cyclops' character was underutilized and his storyline was disappointing, and the film's reception amongst fans and critics alike, as well as our own critiques of the movie. A bit of housekeeping here before we begin. Unfortunately, the original recording of our discussion was corrupted, so Jack and I re-recorded this episode together to make up for it. Now with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and join us as we discuss X-Men: The Last Stand. Discover, buy, and sell comics on Whatnot, just like this Moon Knight number 10, the affiliate sponsor of Cape Critiquers, Whatnot. Join our comic community today. Sign up today at whatnot.pxf.io/caped. Once again, that is whatnot.pxf.io/caped to get yourself some comics like this Moon Knight number 10 and many other products that Whatnot sellers are selling. Welcome back to Cape Critiquers, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a like underneath this video because it really helps with how it performs in YouTube's algorithm. Today, Jack and I are going to be discussing X-Men: The Last Stand. So, Jack, what do you think about this movie?
I thought this movie was pretty much kind of great for X-Men standards, I guess, until the Phoenix reemergence scene.
You thought it was great? You thought it was great.
Pretty good, I guess. I mean, the dialogue and everything wasn't that good.
I don't think it's too far off of any other of the two movies in the trilogy, honestly.
I mean, yeah.
I think
they're all
definitely
superhero
the
movies.
worst.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? What would you even would you say that it's better or worse than the first one?
Better.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was just hard to watch for me.
Yeah, the first one almost felt like a trial run.
Mm-hmm.
This one's not very good, but I just feel like this movie is very all over the place from the start.
Yeah.
This one is also directed by Brett
Ratner. Yeah.
So a different director than the first two.
I don't think he even wrote it or anything.
Yeah, Bryan Singer was doing Superman Returns at the time.
I didn't know that.
I saw that they wanted to get the director that eventually went on to direct First Class to direct this movie, and he was like, "I'm not gonna have enough time." And then he just didn't direct it. I think they also wanted Darren Aronofsky to direct this movie.
Yeah. That's probably right off of Harry Potter 3, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they wanted a whole bunch of different directors before getting to Brett Ratner. And then there's I guess fuck it.
I mean, I guess his directing isn't bad. The worst part I can think of is right when Wolverine and Storm are going to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened, but just it's very clearly voiced over, and it's just it doesn't fit at all. It just sounds like studio. It sounds like a bad studio. Is the weird part. But then it also looks like their mouths aren't moving.
Well, I mean, you can't see anything, but the thing that you can clearly see is that they're not saying those words.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Wolverine's it's fucking foggy.
Yeah.
Something.
I can fix that. Yeah. Just weird lines too.
Yeah.
I can't see a damn thing.
I can take care of that.
Yeah.
And then why wouldn't she do that before landing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's the original scene was just 10-15 seconds of nothing, and then she does it, and then they realized, I don't know. I'd be willing to think that like the microphones just got fucked up and they didn't realize till like editing somehow. But like I don't think they were talking in that scene.
Their mouths aren't moving from what I could tell.
I think if anything, like they realized that they wouldn't be able to like use microphones because it was so foggy, you know.
Yeah.
Like something that would just get fucked up.
Just be like, shh.
Yeah, or just like I don't know, something in the background.
So that scene that you're talking about immediately shows us that Scott is dead.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the only thing we ever see is his visor. It's heavily implied that Scott has died from being exploded by Jean Grey.
Well, yeah, we don't figure out until like the scene where we see the Phoenix for the second time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And speaking of the Phoenix, the whole like opening scene where it's like in the 80s.
Yeah, it's just like, so I was thinking about this. I was 6 when this movie came out, which means I probably didn't watch it till about like 2008, 2010. I would have been like 8 to 10 age range. And that's like probably the first time I ever saw digital de-aging. And it's so terrible then. And like
that even you as like an 8-year-old could figure it out.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
I remember like not liking this movie even back then.
It's funny. I mean, I feel like it is just like a weird movie for kids to like.
Mm-hmm.
One of them looked a lot better than the other.
I don't know. I mean, Charles just looks so weird, I think, because he's bald. And like, we know what young Patrick Stewart looks like, and that's not what it is.
Yeah.
You know? He's like not that smooth ever.
What's weird is like, this is still so much better than X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, X-Men Origins Wolverine is just such a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Well, I meant the...
Oh, the de-aging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah. Even just that whole scene with the fucking green screen and everything.
The green screen, like, forest behind digitally de-aged Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. I wonder...
if he's even there, if it's just CGI.
Maybe, actually. I think he was, though. But I forget, like, what... Maybe it was just a completely different CGI company. But, yeah. One of them fucked it up. Back onto like these movies as a trilogy, I feel like from a dumb fun perspective, they do just get better and better, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the set pieces and the action have more budget and get bigger.
Yeah.
But like, this is the finale of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And it in like no way feels like a finale.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it feels like they wanted fucking like at least 5, you know?
Yeah, honestly, they probably wanted 6. That way they could just have the 2 Wolverine hands, because like this one they got to use Wolverine's claws as a 3.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They probably wanted to get to 6 and just like even that out.
Yeah, I just mean like the action, like I still feel like the action plays into like the story better than like the first one and maybe even the second one, but yeah.
I mean, to an extent, I feel like it's so stupid when Magneto moves the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can understand what it's signifying, but shit like Juggernaut throwing Wolverine into the house is, like, so obvious.
Cannot let anyone in here.
Yeah. Just, like, idiot, first of all.
Yeah.
It's just, like, so obvious to get him in there for the scene. But, yeah.
What did you think of this movie's portrayal of the Juggernaut?
I liked it.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's more memorable than Deadpool.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But to me, it's memorable because, like, it's just not, like, a very good Juggernaut, in my opinion.
I know. I liked it.
He's, like, really small and just, like...
I mean, yeah, I'd prefer, like, the size of the other one. I like the appearance and everything. But I do like the portrayal, I guess.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I mean, he'll be back in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Hopefully the fucking bigger one kills him, though. That'd be funny.
I was actually curious, like, your thoughts on the new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in this one.
It's definitely better than the first one.
I think I just like Pyro better. Like, I like Pyro's, like, arc throughout these movies, like, one of my favorite parts of this whole thing.
I guess. I mean, he turns bad. It's pretty simple, in my opinion.
I mean, it's simple, but I feel like his character is actually, like, interesting.
I don't know. What even happens to him at the end?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Like, I just remember that there was a fight, and I think Iceman was
Iceman beats him. I kind of don't hate that.
But, like, what happens to him after? Is he just frozen?
Like, he just gets frozen. Yeah. And then he's kind of written off from there on out, because there's 10 other plots that they have to fill.
Yeah.
You know, he's better than, like, Psylocke in this movie. Or fucking Spike.
I mean, Psylocke, it was weird, because, like, it almost just felt like in, like, the later Superman, like, 70s movies, when, like, they were just fucking giving Superman, like, god-level powers, and he could just do anything when the plot demanded it.
Yeah.
Because, like, she had fucking, like, super speed. She could fucking teleport. I don't know. It was weird.
I mean, she was fast, and she could, like, she had, like, built-in Cerebro.
Yeah.
But only for mutants.
It was weird.
Yeah. I don't know. My issue with like the other mutants in this movie, half of them are just like, is this supposed to be a portrayal of this famous character or like not? And then also during the final battle, when the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants like runs in, it's just like 100 like generic mutants.
Yeah, and they're like very fucking evil.
Well, but like all of them are just like random teleporters or like speedsters.
Yeah, there was the one guy that could heal that Wolverine.
Well, that one was like kind of interesting. I'm talking about like right when they all start running off the bridge onto the island. It's just like a bunch of like green screened in like random people. It's like, who the fuck are these guys?
I don't know. I just forgot, honestly.
The guy that could regrow. It's just like such like I guess funny kind of, but just like ball humor.
Yeah.
In like the middle of like this like taking itself pretty seriously like X-Men movie.
Yeah, it does take itself very serious.
I'd say though this one tonally is like very different than the first two. Or like at least they're leaning into more of like quips.
Yeah, like it is better than the first one in pretty much every way, I'd say.
Yeah.
So the Dark Phoenix saga, I feel like it's very hard to adapt because it's something where you have to have it be like at the end of like a long saga, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and there's 3 movies here, but this entire arc starts with 5 minutes left in the end of the second movie.
Yeah. It's just like not something that you want to like end a story either. I feel like,
you know, we're going to start this in one movie and end it in one movie.
Yeah, I mean, they technically had it in the X2. It wasn't even like mentioned at all in X1, I don't think. But yeah, it's just something where like in like Harry Potter, the whole twist at the end wouldn't work if you didn't have like 8 movies build up. You know, it just wouldn't hit as hard. And I feel like that would have been great for this. You know, like even though I don't like Dark Phoenix at all, like we didn't even have Phoenix. You know, it was just stupid.
It's just evil Jean.
Yeah, like in X2. All we really had was her like messing up her powers and not being strong. So
I feel like in the comics, like a big part of Jean is that she's like never fully aware of just how strong she is, and then like ultimately like it takes over her once that full power comes out. My favorite thing that comes out of the Dark Phoenix saga, or not even I mean the storyline, I guess, because it's far from a saga in this movie, but the fact that Professor X like clearly fucked up, and like the whole like he was trying to build walls in her mind type of thing, and then like even Wolverine's like, the fuck you doing?
Yeah,
like, you shouldn't do that shit. And like he's clearly in the wrong, and then he's just blown up and they killed for it.
The deaths are just like so like that's what I mean by like self-serious, where it's like we shouldn't even show it. You know?
Yeah, I like the characterization that comes from that.
Yeah,
where
like on everyone else, you mean?
Yeah, where it's like, because this guy that's, you know, supposed to be this noble leader is shown like to also, I guess, be human in some ways, where it's like he's not perfect and makes mistakes. It kind of reflects on all the other X-Men really well, in my opinion.
Yeah, not in this, I'd say, that much at least. But yeah, I agree. What did you think of the returning characters in this?
Wolverine, Hugh Jackman Wolverine is by far acting his ass off in all these. I think Patrick Stewart's great in all these. Ian McKellen is great as Magneto, of course. I think he's slightly underwritten in this one.
Yeah.
Like, weirdly enough, because he is, again, just, like, the main antagonist.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, his lines are just a lot worse.
Yeah. I think, like, a majority of the cast here is just, you know, on par with what they've been doing.
Yeah. What did you think of some of the new characters, like Kitty Pryde and Juggernaut and everyone?
I like Kitty Pryde. Elliot Page is Kitty Pryde in this one is good.
Yeah.
Just like a short kind of appearance for her in this one. Days of Future Past, she kind of gets more shine. But.
Yeah, their portrayal is like kind of similar to like what type of like roles they were getting at the time. You know, like Juno and all that shit. Like it just feels very similar to that. So
yeah, that's a good point. I think my favorite standout like new character in this one is Beast. Kelsey Grammer as Beast. Just like such a great casting choice for that character.
I also just like the whole character of just like how the government fucking would only like get a mutant on the team if it's like useful for them, you know. So
it's funny that he wasn't like in it previously. They teased him in X2, I guess, prior to his full mutation.
What about Angel?
I personally love the character Angel. Warren Worthington III. Stan Lee was absolutely, you know,
gotta get that alliteration.
Yeah, pen on fire meme.
Fucking Worthington is such
Warren Worthington III.
Yeah,
he's fucking just does nothing in the comics ever. all he could do is just fly. He just has wings. He's literally an angel. In this movie, though, I think it's so funny that like his his dad just hates him for like no reason.
I mean, he's a mutant.
He's a mutant, but like
Not you.
He's what?
Not you.
Yeah, he's literally an angel.
Like out of any like mutant power, that's a pretty fucking like good one to have. I feel like.
I feel like if people saw him, they'd be like, "You fucking beautiful, man."
Yeah. Like I'm surprised.
Man, you fucking beautiful, dude. Keep shining, dude.
It's funny that like the guy, you know what would have been cool if like in X2 Stryker was like a religious guy and not like just a weapons dealer type of figure, and then like they kind of built it up where like in this Angel had like a secondary power or where it was taking away people's powers and like he was the guy.
That would be very divergent from the comics.
I know, but like I was just like fucking making a fan fiction here, pretty much. Warren Worthington the third uses him.
Oh, his dad.
Uses his son as like he portrays him as like some like cult thing, you know, and he like kind of continues the legacy. That would be cool. And like people fucking hate like Stryker's like team or like leftovers or whatever hate him, you know. That'd be cool.
Sure.
Yeah,
I guess.
Just for it to fucking give like Angel something to do other than just like the significance of joining the team.
I mean, like
know?
He literally does nothing in this movie, but what he's doing is what he does in the comics. He literally just flies around and like dodges shit and sometimes hits into people and like then has a problem not being able to use his wings.
Yeah, like there's nothing really I can think of until like Archangel. So
yeah, I had like the biggest Mandela effect. I was thinking none of these movies. It's crazy that this happened. Like none of them have a significant Sentinel storyline, except for once we get to Days of Future Past. But like out of the first three, I feel like the Sentinels like when I think like X-Men.
Maybe it's just a hard CGI thing to do.
Yeah, I mean they had them in this one for a second in the Danger Room.
You're right. It's weird that they weren't previously mentioned at all.
Yeah. Also, like there was a thing where I was like I could have sworn there was like a whole movie about Sentinels, but no.
I mean, Days of Future Past is.
Yeah, I mean, Days of Future Past.
Yeah. The Cure storyline is a new concept for the films. It is an interesting dilemma because, like, there are, of course, people who would fucking want to put it onto everyone.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's so insane, though, that they, like, put that storyline in the same movie as the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, but...
It's, like, so much.
Yeah. Because it is, like, it's a pretty good representation of the whole, like, Magneto, Professor X philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is, like, a fucking mutant whose power is to kill everybody in, like, a mile radius.
Yeah.
Which there is in, like, Ultimate X-Men. Or it's, like, everyone behind him or something. I don't know. It's weird. And then Wolverine fucking kills him in a cave. But, yeah, as an alternative to Wolverine killing him in a cave, like, giving him the cure would work.
Yeah,
better.
Well, I mean, Rogue ends up taking the cure in this movie.
Yeah.
So she can finally have a boyfriend.
Yeah. That whole, like, thing of, like, why she wanted to do it was stupid.
Yeah. And also, like, it's ultimately shown that the cure doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it's kind of implied that it's, like, a willpower thing.
What do you mean?
Because, like, if you want it to come back, then, like... Because, like, Magneto is probably practicing, you know? Just, like, every fucking day or whatever.
Yeah. I also just think that they eventually needed his powers to come back for Days of Future Past.
They definitely wanted to lean into Professor X's like manipulative side more. I just felt like I didn't like it at all, you know?
I feel like it's not given enough time to manifest. I think it's done actually a lot better in the James McAvoy era of X-Men movies.
I also feel like Magneto was kind of just like stupid in this. Because, like, his whole philosophy in this is just, like, every mutant should be able to use their power full force, even fucking Jean Grey, who just killed somebody.
And then even, like, Psylocke is in the forest with them, and she's like, she, like, really shouldn't fucking be. Like, she's really dangerous, dude. Yeah.
Speaking of them in the forest, just, like, stupid hiding spot, first of all.
Yeah.
But Multiple Man, I thought it was stupid that, like, he didn't have, like, his prime one that they all absorb into.
Yeah.
Like, why would he have that one there, you know, to be caught?
Mm-hmm. I'm upset that he didn't get more.
Yeah. He's fucking... I mean, like, even this portrayal of him is just weird. Because it is, like, more before he became a good guy.
Another point of Magneto. Like, the fact that he just, like, flip-flops between good and bad in these movies is just, like... It just becomes redundant after a while.
I mean, he wasn't ever, like, good.
I mean,
I'd say he was, like, manipulating the X-Men to fucking help.
I think in the second one, like, he's good until he isn't, you know? Until, like, he just kind of figures that.
I don't know. I'd say, like, he didn't have his Brotherhood of evil mutants, so, like, he had to get into them.
Yeah.
Did you feel satisfied with how this movie wrapped up plot threads?
No.
Me neither. Also, just like some of the open-ended stuff with just like the whole post-credit is fucking stupid.
Yeah. Because I have like no idea what they're trying to do there.
Yeah, and it also brings up the question of like, is he still a mutant or whatever? Because it's just like the mind. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what was even the plan? You know.
I don't know.
Also, like, how does he get his body back?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, he could, like, for the movie, like, just, like, they could have an explanation of he makes everybody think that they're looking at his old body. Like, he can even walk and shit, I guess. Oh, that's weird to think that, like, he probably would have walked in X4. The final fight was so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was really boring, and I don't remember, like, even a lot of it.
This is, like, just where I was kind of, like, not focusing
I was
at all.
very checked out by the end of this movie.
Yeah, I don't even remember what happened.
They trick Magneto with, like, using Wolverine as a pawn, and then
Yeah.
he stabs him with 4 human
I don't know why they needed
creatures.
4
Yeah.
when Mystique only needed 1.
Yeah.
But
I guess, you know, he's Magneto.
I guess, I mean, he's a fucking frail old man.
Yeah. Hey, it's not too frail if that thing didn't kill him.
I guess. Well, he's moving the iron in his blood.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so, like, they make Magneto a human, which I guess is worse than death to him.
Yeah.
And then Wolverine gets all of his body ripped apart and kills Jean.
I kind of like the scene of that, I guess. It's like being able to see his adamantium skeleton.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's good CGI.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like the moment, too.
I love you.
Yeah. I
thought
cried.
It was dumb.
No.
I kind of thought it was dumb and cheesy.
Yeah. It is very, like, predictable.
I thought it was, like, honestly, I was more entertained by the Iceman and Pyro fight. As, like, gimmicky as it was, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of just, like, energy battles. So.
But you like Shang-Chi?
No. I didn't.
You didn't like Shang-Chi?
I didn't like that. The fucking third act sucked. I don't think that's even a popular opinion. What do you think of, like, Storm's role in this? Cause
I think it's, you know, Storm and Cyclops in all 3 of these movies literally have nothing to do.
Yeah. I mean, she definitely had...
She gets an upgraded role in this one. And it's
I'd say
she's shown to be the leader of the X-Men now in this one, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And, like, it's good. It upgrades her role slightly. But, like, even, like, in Days of Future Past, like, every one of these characters is just so, like, outshined by Wolverine.
Yeah. Despite, like, after X1, he has no character arc, really. But I feel like Storm, her CGI is probably the hardest to do. Just, yeah.
I mean, come Days of Future Past seems pretty easy to do in comparison.
I mean, I don't even remember what she does.
She has, like, one scene, really.
In hindsight, how does The Last Stand fit in with the other X-Men movies?
I mean, like I said towards the beginning, kind of, like, is not much different than the other 2. I just think it's a lot messier and just kind of fucking too much going on at once. Like,
yeah,
just like an issue of, like, early comic book movies, and even, like, still some comic book movies now, but especially the early ones where it's like, we got to take every important storyline and just put it into one movie. I'm thinking, like, Spider-Man 3. Would you consider this movie better than Spider-Man 3?
Spider-Man 3 had the middle part, which was, like, better. You know, like, Spider-Man 3's middle act was, like, better, or not better, but just, like, on par with the rest of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that means it's better for more of it. From a dumb fun perspective, I don't even remember, honestly. Maybe X3. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what my issue with this movie is, though? Out of the 3 is, like, this is the one where it's, like, I feel like I had my brain turned off, like, the most of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it was just, like, I just didn't care. I was so bored during most of this movie.
I don't know. I'd say I was, like, not enthralled, but just, like, engaged, I guess. Like, baby in front of jingling keys. This did feel like other superhero movies, in my opinion. Just because, like, it felt like a bad MC movie.
Yeah.
Not how, like, X2 felt like the Batman, but, yeah.
I mean, X2 is, like, just a good superhero movie.
Yeah. My least favorite scene?
The Scott dying.
I guess I'll go with the Storm and Wolverine showing up after.
Yeah.
I
just,
can
like,
fix that.
that whole sequence. Favorite scene? I'd probably have to go with, like, Wolverine questioning Charles, getting inside of, like, Jean's head and putting up barriers.
I'll go with Magneto raising the army.
Yeah, in the church.
Yeah. Final rating?
4.5.
I'm gonna move X-Men 1 down to a 4 and this to a 5.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, pretty fair. It's not like the worst thing. It's just not good.
Yeah.
All right, that was our recap and discussion of X-Men: The Last Stand. Next episode, we move into X-Men: Days of Future Past as we move along our countdown to Deadpool and Wolverine. So stay tuned for that. Bye.
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 Bye.